I have it's like I have two different personalities, man. Like there are times when I'm smart and when I'm not. So let's go straight into the draft now. Ling getting first ban as well as Kadita.
Well, very interesting, right? Because usually, if we're talking about EVOS Legends, they like the Kadira. They opt for the ban here, so perhaps they want to change their approach here. Todak banning another mage potentially with that Yves. So perhaps what are they looking for here? Are they going for a Valentina first pick?
I kind of feel like Valentina is the safest first pick for now.
Yeah.
Unless the Valentina gets banned out. I kind of feel like for Toda, their win condition should be 4 mains and then either Malik or Ayumi.
Oh, yeah.
So I kind of feel like whatever they're drafting, as long as they're winning for both of them, it should be okay.
Yeah, I'd like to see Todak going into this really thinking about their jungler pickup too, especially in the first phase. I'd like to see them putting their jungler priority in the first 3 picks. I mean, Martis, we've seen it already as a powerful pick. Malik's got a game in it. Might as well get a hero such as like Martis that can punish and surprise snowball your opponents. EVOS will take away the Valentina, so that leaves Arlott, Fredrin. I wonder if Formers and Todak will consider first picking Uranus, which we've seen some teams do.
Yeah.
Joy is still wide open as well, but then the Kaja is still up in the air. And then we know EVOS Legends is a team that can bring out Minzitar also, even though we haven't seen it in SPS, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of things to consider here for Todak. I think the safest first pick that they could go for would be the Kaja, if it's available.
I would agree with Kaja. Fredrin, I'm not so sure if it's a hero that is Toda centric, because Formaze is in a way a lane bully. Like that's his personality. That's the way he likes to play the game. And even though Fredrin could do it quite well, but he's not like a super bursty kind of hero, so I'm not so sure whether Formaze would like that. Uranus has been banned out, so now Kaja is open. And again, I do agree, picking up the Kaja would be very good because it enables everyone else. Afterwards, if you want to pick up something like a carry, it's all good.
Taking it away from the hands of Dreams as well,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So it's a double win. It's a win-win solution here. But it seems like Todak, they're still taking their time here in their first pick.
Yeah, I think
Maybe they're considering Joy as well.
Joy, Arlott,
Is Paquito their
Kaja.
thing as well?
A Paquito first pick to me is a bit too much.
Yeah. First pick, maybe no, but I would think that at least Formaze can use it quite well.
Yeah. I think there was a time where Paquito was picked a
Oh!
lot, but oh, there.
I guess I'm proven wrong. I guess they do
Okay.
want the Fredrin.
Interesting to me.
But over the Kaja?
For the Kaja.
Yeah, and you're giving it to Dreams? That's like the biggest point for me. It's like, okay,
This
there
is-
are a lot of teams that pick Fred over Kaja, but you're
Yeah.
giving the Kaja to Dreams.
Yeah, he really likes and he is really strong on that
We talk about it and
Kaja.
then he doesn't even pick up the Kaja.
Yeah,
Right?
it'll be so
What?
funny.
Yeah.
Because the Arlott's still open and Fluffy's really comfortable with that here.
The
Oh, they pick up the
Paquito.
Vegas. They don't care about the Kaja.
You know what? We suck. We shouldn't be talking about the game.
Yeah, all right.
I
Chat,
mean-
take over.
You know what? Here's the thing. I actually thought about this while I was showering.
Uh-huh.
You know how people say, like, describe your job in a very bad way?
Oh, no.
I finally figured out how I can describe my job as a very bad way.
Is this something we can broadcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so, yeah. I'm a professional backseat gamer.
Ah.
Right? Right?
Glorified backseat gamer.
Hey, but yo, come on. Yo, backseat gamers don't go through the training that we do. Don't go through
Yeah, I
all
mean,
of the workshops
That's
that
why
we
we're
do.
professionals.
Professional
Yeah,
backseat gamers.
professional backseat gamers.
We're
We're
still
like,
backseat
they're like,
gaming.
why did you pick that hero? Why'd you do that rotation? Dude, why didn't you just flicker out of it?
Yeah, and now, why did they make such a big deal about the Kaja when it hasn't even
Nope.
been picked yet?
Nope, not at all.
Still not
still
saying.
don't
got
You know what?
it.
That's it. I'm done. We might as well just throw it to the casters now, you know?
Okay,
Whatever.
To me personally, very questionable that Todak would draft the Leslie, especially knowing that there is still going to be a Farsa looming around.
Nah, I think it's 100% for the Claude.
Just for the Claude? No.
Yeah. I legit feel it's 100% for the Claude, because if not, it get banned out.
Wait, so they're hoping that
Well, at
The
least
Leslie
Kaja
will
gets
just snowball.
banned.
Yeah, the Kaja gets banned.
At least.
A very good lead. Finally, second
But
phase.
it's banned by EVOS.
Yeah.
Banned out. They do not even knock Dreams. Dreams will not pick it up.
Yeah.
How does Dreams want to play at this point? Is he gonna pick up a Lolita eventually?
Atlas, possibly. I sense an Atlas because knowing Leslie is on the opponent's side, Atlas counters Leslie quite good. And remember, this Paquito is actually a flexible pick, right? It can enter the EXP or the jungle, so I feel like in EVOS Legends they will try to explore that option here. What will Todak
Guys,
ban out?
you know, I just thought of something incredibly stupid that there's 0.001% chance it gets picked up. But if this is one of those heroes that you test it in scrims might work, but then you're like, nah, doing it in tournament is too trolly. A Belleric against the Claude.
Okay. Vengeance Belleric.
Yeah.
I've done that in my rank games.
Yeah.
I mean, as someone who plays Belleric and like one of the roamers I constantly play with loves the Belleric pickup. Every time he sees something like an XP laner that's like wants to get close, sees a Claude, it's like it's my time to shine. It's my Belleric now.
Vengeance Blade Armor. Oh, nasty. Nasty Belleric.
The RG cheese trats. Okay, Lancelot and Joy gets banned out by Todak. I think this Paquito, I'd rather see it go into the XP lane. Fast clear and then high invade potential. I mentioned it earlier, the Lolita gets picked up. At least we get one thing right.
Well, 4 bans here towards the assassin though, towards the jungler position.
Yeah.
Is it okay? EXP Paquito? What are the options? Okay, they have Martis though.
Yeah, well, I could see them also going for jungle Paquito. But yeah, you mentioned the Martis. Imagine if they go XP Paquito, jungle Martis.
Yeah.
Welcome to Snowball City. You
Yeah.
just built a lineup that is built for
The
taking
early
over the
game.
game early. And if not, at least it'll keep things close so that the Claude won't have to worry about trying to catch up.
I mean, like, to be fair, you're going up against a Leslie. You kind of want to build a sizable lead before she gets at least 2 items, right?
Yeah.
Because even though Leslie does well, okay, now having a Florin, this is all like protect the queen kind of draft,
Yeah.
where it's like everyone is utility except for one person. So this is a very risky but safe composition at the same time.
Yeah.
They're trying to copy what Icon is doing.
So it's like it's safe because like it's a very straightforward kind of strategy. It's very risky. The fact that if you guys can't protect the Leslie, it's basically game over. And you mentioned the Martis. Every single time you mention the Martis, it just seems to pop up.
There's something about you and Martha's pickups going.
They have that bond.
You got that bond?
Yeah.
Speaking of bonding, I want to see how Leo as well as Gideon has been bonding so far during the drafts.
It's been an interesting draft, and that's to say the least. But with the rocky start that Todak has had in the group stage, they're throwing everything at the problem. That is EVOS Icon, everything but the kitchen sink.
Absolutely, and I think this is one of those situations where you're going to have to hope for the best, protect the queen. That is the goal for Todak. But if we're looking at the opposite side, I think at least EVOS Legends responded quite well to the draft overall. And like Reptar just mentioned, if that early game goes terribly for Todak, that snowball is going to become an avalanche quicker than you can think.
It's Legends, not Icon. The fact that Taz ain't playing has thrown me off, and that's going to throw off the odds of my predictions. Me being on top of the leaderboards, by the way, alongside Reptar. This is a problem. I don't know if not that I don't like Nia, but Taz is my guy.
He is the guy. And I mean, he's put his team on his back for a while, so it'll be interesting to see whether Nia is going to be able to get the same sort of results in this matchup. And maybe Brands could be the one that actually wins on the lane, even though it's not exactly the best matchup for him. So a lot is up in the air, and a lot is riding on that snowball.
All right, so at least on the core for core, and I'm talking about jungler and marksman role specifically, it's a 50-50, right? You have Nia on the Martis going up against the Fredrin on Malik, and then you have the Claude on Brands going up against Ayumi's Leslie, right? One counters the other, and then vice versa. So with that being said, I'm looking towards, oh man, Nia no Rokunin actually picking up the pace so that eventually Brands can just shock and awe. That's what we're looking for here, at least if you're EVOS Legends fans.
Yep. I mean, we have to talk about X factors. And in this case, it's going to be 4 mains for the side of Todak, and it's going to be Dreams for the side of EVOS Legends. It's going to be a little bit easier, right? The Numnon Blast is almost guaranteed to hit, especially against a composition that has Farmus in it. You got to be close, but now Hijime taking a little bit of damage in the earlier stages here. Oh, if he dies, it's going to be bad. He flickers on out of there, and that's going to be an early battle spell from the mid laner.
Which is about, what, 80% towards dying anyways? That's the same effect. You're not as safe when you eventually get to these important fights. And there is, folks, an important fight happening in just under a minute. And with 105 seconds left on Hijume's flicker, it's not going to be looking good. Now look at how Nea is asserting his dominance. Even Malik had to go, right, yeah, maybe this camp ain't mine. Real quick, one look at the emblems so far, and anything out of the ordinary here?
Nothing seems to be out of the ordinary other than the lethal ignition coming out of this Grok. It looks like he wants to sit in this lane for a while, but now Malik has to deal with a 2v1 with no pressure from that mid lane. Forced to use the Appraiser's Wrath, and Nia, he knew better. He just backed off. He didn't want to do anything further with Fluffy showing face.
All right, if there is one thing that I can note that is maybe off kilter, is the fact that Nia's Martis is rocking full on Assassin. All right, Assassin emblem, killing spree as his core talent, and even going as far as Seasoned Hunter plus Rupture, so he wants to penetrate. Usually the Martises that work in the past few days here in the group stage would like to build some level of hybrid. But right now, let's see how it's going to work out, because they're not even here. Dream!
Oh! A good flicker from Fluffy to dodge the wild charge. This is going to give a little bit of space for Malik to try and take this away. Fluffy has done more than enough as Hijime, as well as Nia, comes on in. Nia takes away the turtles, the call altar, keeping the rest alive. Todak on the run now, but that's going to be the jab into the double knock-up strike to secure the kill on towards Martisi and as well as Ashi, both falling, and that's going to be a purple buff stolen away by EVOS Legends.
Malik has 2 big boys standing in the middle of him and his purple buff. Already instantly a count of Grand Theft Purple for Nea, who's actually doing pretty well. You know what? I still miss Taz. I won't say this is the best shape EVOS Legends has been, at least in the run they've had so far in the groups, but looks like coaching staff, Coach Age, made a great call, and now Ashi didn't expect that much firepower.
He still had his flicker available. He just greeded out for it. Even had his ultimate as well, but didn't want to waste any of his resources. In the meantime, while Todak has been losing resources over the map, EVOS Legends, we got to talk about Fluffy here because he's proxying faster than the Grok. This just shows the changes to Paquito, which makes him so relevant in the meta.
Yep, and the choice to give his Paquito a quantum charge makes all the sense in the world. But wait, the face check into that bush. Malik and Ashi call out. Compared to like a Fredrin that has a quantum charge, or even like Uranus we've seen a couple of days prior. Wait, they're forcing a flicker!
He wants Ashi again to decimate into the Feathered Airstrike. He kills him instantaneously. Call Altar saves Malik's life for a little bit of time. Nia still alive, able to walk away with Immortal Coils. Thank God for Dreams to block the ultimate snipe shots.
Thanks, man. You'll always have my back. And that's what's making all of this work out for EVOS Legends. After they get what they want, after the initial salvo of firepower, and whether it's them face-checking or Todak coming into a bush with no vision, they are always onto the next. They're always following through. And now Fluffy flickering out. He's okay. See, this is what I'm talking about. Todak, they're like, all right, you want to do this, you want to do this? And then EVOS Legends always knows what's next to do, even on an individual basis. So 4.5 minutes in, it's going to be difficult to close this gap. 3K already.
I think it's even harder the fact that Todak are very tunnel visioned on what their win condition is supposed to be. That's why they're playing so passive, and it's surprising to see where is the Todak Langar style. Why are they responding so often to EVOS Legends rather than making plays of their own?
Not to mention it, man. This is one of the first few, if not the first time we've seen Todak in Stream A. So yes, I'll have to echo just what you said. I do miss Todak Langar. And with the lineup having shuffled up this way, you can expect that the lineup and the playstyle will definitely make a difference. Oh, look how Dreams is!
Far, but now the Feather Airstrike, Numnon Blast, flicker catches 2, and a flicker from Hijime as well to try to secure this kill onto Ashi. Gets his ult off just in time. Call it off. EVOS Legends gonna back out of there. Oh no, the re-engagement. Formace coming in with the wall charge into the blazing away. Come from Brands in the back line. He wants to get a kill, but no one seems to be falling just yet. Nia almost dying, but with the mortar coils is able to get out. Formaze clears up the wave. They tried to protect it, forcing his flicker to come out as Malik as well pulls in Dreams, and it's good. It's so good. The Shadow Stepping pulls it back just in time. Nia is about to fall, able to get one kill onto Ashi, but Yumi finds the kill on the enemy jungler in return for their airstrike for the second time, and this is going to be an easy cleanup for Fluffy with a double kill.
That's an elapsed 50 seconds the whole team fight took. That was way too long for EVOS Legends up until it was Todak who eventually overextended. The fact that Formaze did clear the wave, flickered out to save himself, wasn't as good of a story for the heroes that actually mattered, the heroes that couldn't have died. And right now, again, protecting the Queen, going into the post-laning phase ain't working out because Ayumi has already died once. Looking at the item game and, oh Lord, what is that? 1,000 and change?
It's 4,000 gold lead in total, all across the board, just winning 1,390 gold for Brands. Not only did he win the laning phase, but he continues to snowball out of control with these assists. Now, so far, Hijime is about to die here. How long can he stand? He looks like he knows that he's down. He's going to die, but it sets up for Brands to come on in. The Numenor Blast is able to cut down everybody else. Brands finds one, looking for a second. Oh, Twin Slime not even needed. Ayumi is able to take out Brands' trades. Dreams should be all right here, but Ayumi flickers forward.
Whoa!
The shield is going to keep him alive. And finally, it times out for the ultimate snipe to take him out.
Yep, that's the passive ticking right there. We'll go straight through. And with that, EVOS Legends are going to make the most of a losing situation, unless they're going to lose Fluffy flickering on out.
I mean, Malik has already used his retribution. He's going to chase Fluffy to the end, Heavy punch to keep it alive, but Formaze is able to knock him up and pass that kill over to Ayumi once more.
EVOS Legends made the macro call here. They sent over Fluffy, which may have been an oversight. That may have been too much. They were going to lose this top lane eventually. They did have to lose Fluffy. I guess this is where it comes in, wherein maybe, I'm theorizing here, folks, that maybe Nea didn't say that he was going to do so-and-so, or there was a gap in the communication that made for Fluffy to still respond, and eventually didn't have any backup, coming with the Todak for the punish. So with that being said, they did close the gap. It's down about 2,000 as compared to the 3 or 4 the last time we checked. But it's not all lost. EVOS Legends are still clearly in the lead. But so far, given the couple of kills that Ayumi gained, it did try to close the gap. It could have been so much bigger. It could have been so much worse. So for all the Malaysian fans watching, EVOS Legends, they do have a tendency here in the mid-game to slip up. But that doesn't mean this Lord coming in a minute is not going to be as free as it gets. EVOS Legends can make all the calls.
And I think if EVOS Legends wants to close out this game a little bit cleaner, they're going to have to just play the map, right? That's how they got that initial lead. They played the map, then got first rotation, forced Todak to move, and then responded accordingly. Now they're the ones trying to make those plays of their own, but their composition is not designed for it.
And with the way that Nea has been a relatively, I'd say what, autonomous jungler, it makes up for these gaps and allows for them to play much like the EVOS Legends we know and love, even with Taz as the jungler. And Taz is so good when they're losing. And look, Nea's doing fine, buying some time, baiting them out. Oh, Formaze just put up a wall between him and Dreams. That wasn't a fight that neither team wanted anyways.
Yeah, but you can kind of tell Brands is coming to a point where he's really starting to hurt. Like, he's chunking down Malik with only 2 items. No, I beg to defer. 3 items, and now he's slowly building into that Malefic Roar as well because he knows he's so far ahead. While all of this is happening, Fluffy is getting a free push on topside, and EVOS Legends are like, do you really need to come in for this fight? Just take everything topside. We'll slow this down.
Yep, he's controlling almost half of the map just by himself, threatening a purple steal, pushing tier 2, that's confirmed, and he's, as you would say, Gideon, holding Todak hostage. He's making sure that Todak can't make the right decisions because they're not so sure where the rest of them are. I don't think they see Hijime.
They don't. They
now
don't
they
know
do.
just yet, but they start walking out. Fluffy is about to join in for this fight to go for that big flank, and even Todak recognizes they spot him out in the mid lane. Martizi has to recall, and a pause has been called, thankfully, because it was a little strange seeing Martizi taking so many shots from Brands.
Yep, so with that, we can at least note that Malik hasn't died, and the ones dying for the most part, right? 5 deaths currently on Ashi. And those are the deaths that kind of matter. Those are the deaths that you're okay with having, and is this the right call? Formaze just all... Oh, there you go. All right, never mind. I got the answer, folks. Just a quick update. Formaze has the Heptases, has the Blade of Despair, and is on his way to at least a Athena Shield. I was going to say, is it fair and is it okay to say, just greed out, all damage? No, he understands. He respects Hijume, and that's the only real source of magic damage, but it's a very, very impactful source of damage, that Farsa.
Yeah, extremely impactful in matter of fact, especially when you have the two items, the Clock of Destinies and the Lightning Truncheon. It feels good when you have them combined together, but more importantly, when time goes by, the stacks in the Clock of Destinies is just going to make that Lightning Truncheon proc even stronger. But in the meantime here, I'm thinking of a way for Todak to actually bounce back from this. Like, a lot of things need to kind of fall in place, and the only people who can cancel out big abilities is either Malik or even Formaze. Somehow the Numenon Blast needs to get canceled out.
Yep, so one key is vision. You have to make sure that Dreams ain't coming in from an odd bush, flickering in via a Numenon Blast, the Euro step, sidestep, Numenon Blast. So if they can do that, and they can do that best inside their base, then they're still in this. So with that being said, they have to protect their inhibitors very, very strategically and count their blessings. Make sure that they know that, hey, we can't protect this tier 2 in mid. We have to play from within. So at least they understand that much.
Yep, they're going to have to clear these waves, but I don't think EVOS Legends is going to make it that easy. Branch level 14 right now. 3 levels ahead of Ayumi so far. And with the lore pressing down, I'm guessing that EVOS Legends are looking to fish for a kill.
Yep, they're keeping up this Magic Sentry. They know that they will need it eventually when they go for the follow-through. And there's Feather Airstrike already spent up.
No, they're giving this up. They're losing an inhibitor on the very first Lord of the game. And EVOS Legends are like, okay, we're fishing for kills, but if you're going to give us an inhibitor, we'll take it.
Yeah, and they took it very safe, right? They took it very safe. They spent the ult, and they understood that, yeah, Todak is very dive-centric. Besides Ayumi, everybody has to come in. So they have to respect that fact that if they can't take Hijume's hits, then yeah, nothing's gonna happen. So now, in hindsight, I'd give Todak's wave clear maybe a 3.5. 3.5 out of 5. That's it. So, and it's not even all that safe. Looking at the item game so far, there's the robe, as for mentioned, on Formaze. But everywhere else, every other role is just barreling forward. Look at Brands, man. Brands is eating good.
He's eating like a king. And more importantly, like the rest of his teammates, they are just building up defensive items now, right? I see 2 Twilight armors already completed for both Nia as well as Dreams, who will never be caught dreaming ever because he's been playing very sharp this game. But even if Ayumi comes to a point where he gets the skill into that game, right? Man, it's going to cap his damage.
Yep. Something else to note, talking about damage, the build that Nia put on his Martis, very unique. Folks, mind you, this is a full Assassin Emblem Martis, but look at his build. Save for the Fury Hammer, it's all defense. So this is another direction you can take, and I gotta give credit to our developers. This is what this new emblem system allows for. You can be creative. You can, again, I think it was that yesterday that you mentioned? It's the same goal, but you take different paths to achieve it.
Exactly. But he also pairs it up with Red Retribution as well. So let's say he's on top of someone like Ayumi. He steals the attack damage.
That's right.
It's going to multiply himself and get even stronger, quote unquote. But Ayumi, he opens up the map with the ultimate snipe to get some information, sees Dreams in place from a flanking position. They're going to push him out. But this Lord take is so important because this could be the final nail in the coffin.
Yep, and much like the Lord prior, Fluffy's doing the same thing, folks. He is taking control of that lower half of the map, and Formaze has the answer. And Formaze is, yeah, much faster on the pickup. He can move and he can control the waves better. But Fluffy is just dealing so much damage. He's clearing these waves despite Apakito having to punch every individual minion or wave the old-fashioned way. It's just so quick. He just moves so fast. Thank you, Quantum Charge.
Thank you, Malik. Oh my god!
Oh!
He lost 80% of his health. Formaze taking way too much damage here. You'll actually quickly use this ult to save his life. Feathered Airstrike and Flicker has been expanded by Hijume. At least Warlock was able to bait something out.
And the fight continues. Watch Dreams putting it up. Grab very low!
He ends up dying! Fluffy in the flank position, but couldn't complete it. Nia tries his best, but he still is able to secure the Lord, at least for his team. They back away.
A chunk of the damage, if our stats and our graphics are correct, came from Ayumi. So he was just stone cold specific. He was so accurate at finding, all right, where's King Brands? Where's King Brands? Pow!
Headshot after headshot after headshot. You can only take so many of those in Brands. I don't know. He's got to be a little careful here. His build is super greedy. I do not see a single... Yeah, he doesn't have Winds of Nature at all.
Nope.
The disrespect.
Well, he's not even going to get there anymore. He has to juggle if he wants to.
I mean, he can. I mean, with the amount of gold that he has, I wouldn't put it past him at this point.
I understand why, because true damage goes through the Wind of Nature anyways. And that's what Ayumi's playing with. But right now, they're waiting for him. They didn't even give him time to get the orange unless the buff icon just didn't show. Yeah, no, they made the call. Brass, get over here. We're going to try to finish.
Yep, they're going to go for it as they chunk down the Lord. Ayumi has come to a point where he actually deals extremely relevant damage to these objectives. Even Fluffy doesn't want to deal with it. Feather Airstrike is going to come on out. Formace holding the wave back, but the last inhibitor turret is going to fall, and the second Immortal-powered wave is going to come on in. Those Legends, they're waiting for a mistake from Todak's side. They finally back off.
Their base is exposed, but just the same, they remain composed. Todak are still in it. They're still breathing. The hope for the Langar stands true, but just the same, there is a Lord coming in about a minute and a half. Gideon, do you reckon that this Lord isn't still as free to get for Todak? It's like a 80-20, and I'm being very optimistic.
I mean, if EVOS plays this correctly, following strong fundamentals of how the map should be played, there should be no chance for Todak to actually get an advantageous position without losing something, or even getting backdoor, which is a very high possibility since we've seen many claws in this game. Formace knocking up 3 with the wall charge and flickering in. Ayumi is getting zoned away by Nia, but Brands, he holds on for himself. He has immortality. Lumina Blast is going to hit all 4 members of Todak. The heal from Ashi keeping him alive, but Brands continues to get the free auto attacks as Nia continuing to zone out Ayumi this entire time. And now the front to front occurs. Martisi finds Nia, and the rest of the team might just fall to the praises wrap, but they flicker out just in time. A 2-for-1 trade. Are things turning good for Todak?
Todak played that team fight very well, and for the first time in almost 17 minutes, they actually came out on top. Save for that one more moment earlier when they got 2 or 3 free kills. Here, this is very, very significant. 4 mays for Hijume and Nea. Dear Lord, a mid laner and a jungler. If this happened closer to when the Lord would have spawned, then that 80-20 would have gone straight up to a clean 50-50. So with that said, EVOS Legends are now just 5,000 gold ahead. And who'da thunk, man, who'da thunk? Better late than never. Protect the Queen might still work out.
It might just still work out. Hijume, he needs to be very careful with his trigger finger here. Todak has been fishing out for his ult for a very long time, and they've repeated it 2 times successfully. Now, Martisi and that Holy Crystal, hopefully this should be enough.
More than just that, he has to be careful with his spacing. He has to know that even if this is a reshuffled Todak, a recalibrated, re-rostered Todak, he's still playing with 4 mays. 4 mays, far as I've known this young man, I've watched his career for several years now. He's so good at finding the backline, and right now they find Malik. Ayumi as well in that bush. Oh, it breaks down!
Yep, Feather Airstrike is going to be targeting Ayumi, forcing him to flicker on out, but the front line has started to crumble. Malik, it put down to 40% of his HP. Brands, luckily, he played that extremely well. He got hit, instantly saw Ayumi, BMI'd out of there. He did not want to take another shot.
Yep, and to address the relative disrespect that Brands has for the damage output of Todak, specifically Ayumi, Homie picked up an Immortality and the Haas Claws, which he had earlier already anyways. So they have to play with this perilous dance. It's an economy of damage that both teams are playing with. And right now, they're waiting for Ayumi's ultimate snipe. All green dots, all the ultimates are up for EVOS Legends. And that's why they say it's time to dance. How bad you want it, Todak? How bad you want it?
Yep, and Dreams, he's going to open up the map just to confirm. Brands as well, using that BMI to kind of safely check these bushes. Fluffy is just being such a nuisance for Todak, right? Formace consistently has to match him every single time and has to monitor all 3, well, actually, technically only 2 of these waves while bot side is handled by the rest of Todak.
Yep. Something tells me maybe Fluffy is playing this way and walking this way to play with Todak. This is a psychological warfare. All right, this is a, all right, you know I'm here, right? You know I'm here. But where am I going to be 2 seconds from now? 4 seconds from now? Is it going to be safe for y'all? See, it's very strategic that Fluffy's doing that. But Formase is playing it so well. Oh, Ayumi gets spotted out.
Dreams flickers right on top of him. Numenor Blast is getting charged. Ayumi's trying to get out, manages to get out in time. Feather airstrike, not in range as Malik starts to peel for the rest of the team. Dreams, he's got nothing left. He's trying with the shield to hold on, but France comes in with the blazing duet, doesn't find the right targets, and Malik just takes the damage on the nose. Dreams now left to dry. Here comes Fluffy to try and disengage to push Malik out of position. He's checking out. Fire Yumi gets knocked back. No snipe just yet. Building up on that energy to get another empowered auto.
Past the 20-minute mark, it's going to matter more. Formase very low. That they protect themselves, and that's why they're investing more in immortalities. There's 3 aside right now. 3 immortalities aside, and none were popped in that long engage. Again, similar to what happened in the mid-game, that almost lasted a minute.
It almost lasted a minute. I just can't believe that EVOS Legends has let the game go on this far. Right now, it is dead even with max items on both sides.
Yep, this is a what we call in the business a small 3,000 gold lead, especially with the way Todak has read EVOS Legends movements. It's not as easy as it was in the mid-game and the, I'd say, mid-late game. So right now, it's close to 50-50, despite Todak not having much of a base left. EVOS Legends, at the snap of a finger, if they catch themselves at a wrong angle, it could be over. But wait, it looks like the wave management is just on point. They want to check down Formase. It's a big wave! Big wave!
Yep, 3 recalls coming in. EVOS Legends do not find any of the... Wait, no, they stopped the recalls. They see them back away. The communication has been very, very clean from Todak at this part of the match. I would have assumed that would start breaking down, but Ijume in Tri-Brush, waiting for the opportunity, knowing that Ayumi has been having quite a bit of a habit to hover around this bot side.
Yep. If anything, maybe communications just get better the longer the game goes, right? You have calls that make more sense. You have more trust that has built over the early, mid to late, because in the early, yeah, that's where I kind of read that maybe they weren't syncing up as well as they should be. But now, wow, Todak seems to be moving as a unit. Malik here, down to a fifth of his health.
Yep, he's lost so much HP already, but now this could be a 50-50 if we wanted to see Fluffy continuing to keep Formase busy so that this 4v4 can be handled by the rest of EVOS Legends as Dream gets spotted out by the ultimate snipe. Nia is going to pull the Lord towards his side as Fluffy just looking for opportunities to maybe flank, and even Brands himself trying to go for these back doors. The continuous dance continues, and with the feathered airstrike, that should be one deterrent. He's still holding it on. Fluffy's getting a little low, and now this should be a free Lord for the side of EVOS Legends. They back away. Numenor Blast and Flicker has been utilized too.
What a dance. What a dance, folks. That lasted, I'd say, a minute and a half, 2 minutes and a half, if I'm counting correctly. And Todak played it very well, but just the same, that's where the difference in the base, the difference in structural resources come in. Formase had to always answer. There always had to be an extra eye that Martizi kept on that base, because Fluffy and Brands were threatening a finish, a backdoor play, as we would like to call it. So with that being said, this is a evolved Lord, all right? Todak have to play around this very, very specifically, because EVOS Legends now deal extra damage around Lord.
Oh, feather airstrike. Ayumi forcing him to flicker. Ayumi needs to reset now. He may be double buffed, but it might not just be enough. This Lord already coming in. Formase out of position, getting knocked up in the motor coil, forcing out his ult, gets a knock up on 2. Call Ultra saves his life after the immortality. But now where's the peel? Numenor Blast comes out. They already find a kill onto Martizi's side. Brands comes in with the blazing duet. Fluffy's still alive and gets a kill onto one Formase side as they're looking to rush the crystal at the very least. But with no minions and just the Lord, this should be more than enough as EVOS Legends take game 1.
Took a while to ramp up, but eventually EVOS Legends eventually found the finish. All 23 and 40 minutes of it, with a majority of the action happening in the last 5. Todak now have at least a hope. It looked like they knew how to play, especially in the late game.
They do. It looks like they had some very clear ideas, but man, EVOS Legends, that could have easily slipped between their fingers.
Let's see what our analysts have to think. LaFell, how'd you like that?
Like is a very strong word.